Hi, I'm Coach Jonathan Hirsch. I coach high school football, defensive coordinator, girls soccer, and softball. Whenever I meet parents and they find out that I'm a Texas high school coach, they get all excited, have a bunch of questions to ask me, and it's awesome. I love it. I love answering all the questions they have. I mean, it almost makes you feel like you're some sort of superstar when they find out that you're coaching Texas high school sports, which to me, it's just, that's my job. It's normal. I love it. I've been in it as a player, now as a coach. So it's normal to me, but it's just awesome with having the parents out there just super excited, wanting to ask questions. And that's what I'm here for, to answer all the questions that you have. I wish somebody would have told me before I got into coaching high school sports. When I played college football, I was a kicker, and I had a coach tell me that he got into coaching because every day was different. You never had the same thing daily. You got to know what was going on in the world with the kids today. Looking back at it now, I was probably like any other college student. I wanted to be a lawyer, doctor. I want to make lots of money. But when I got into it, it was more about the everyday excitement of going to work, going to the classroom, getting ready for practice, and game days, having that feeling just like I did as a player, where you're getting ready before kickoff, you got these butterflies in your stomach going, and there's no feeling like it in the world. Like, I could sit behind a desk all day, 8 hours a day at some 9-to-5 job, and do that, go home, be bored, no idea. What I do as a teacher, as a coach, I just love every minute of it. There's nothing, I would go back and redo. I do it all the same. I'm in a career field that I love being in. I definitely don't do it for the money. I do it for the excitement of the sport, helping the students succeed in something they enjoy doing, helping teach them the sport that they're wanting to pursue, and hopefully when they become seniors, helping guide them to their goal of playing at the collegiate level. I've had many students go on and go play college ball, and a lot of the times they're just, thank you so much, never thought I'd be able to make it to the college level. This is awesome. And at this point in time, I've had many graduate college, and I have a few that have gone into the teaching and coaching field and are at schools I used to be at their alumni coaching, and it's just an awesome feeling. And when they reach out to me and like, hey coach, I'm back at this school, I'm coaching, I'm doing what you did, this is amazing. It's the happiest feeling in the world, and it's just one of those paying it back, paying it forward, helping make productive citizens in our society today. High school sports are different. We don't get unlimited time, unlimited resources, or athletes who start at the same place. So unlike college and professional level sports, we are regulated by UIL, in which they tell us we only get so many hours of practice a week. We can only do so much with resources as far as our weight rooms, equipment, number of coaches we have on staff, and the athletes that we have at our schools. Those are who we have. We don't get to go out like colleges do to recruit the athletes that we want to have for specific positions. We may have some good linemen and some good running backs, but we don't have somebody that's played quarterback, so we have to develop that ourselves. And take that time that we have to develop the quarterback in his position and have to teach him all the different roles and responsibilities, fundamentals of what it is to play quarterback in football versus a college, university that can go out there and pick and choose who they want. And at that same time, they can also, pick and choose a number of quarterbacks that they have, whereas at the high school level, we only get what we have in the school, on campus. And that's what we get, to use. The reason for developing this podcast is to help those coaches understand and further develop their student athletes in the same situations that I've been in, where we don't have players that have, grown in the position, played younger youth level sports, and have that knowledge, expertise, or been going to some sort of camps outside of school to gain that knowledge and ability to help at the high school level. So hopefully this is going to be a resource that other coaches can use to help in their program building, and I can share my experiences with them and give them greater insight and knowledge on how to develop their programs. How do you develop leadership? Great question. Many different ways in going about developing leadership. It's not an overnight process. It's not easy. It takes work, especially when working with young people. They're needing to learn how to lead, as well as how to fail, how to respond to pressure, and how to be part of something bigger than themselves. This is something that younger student athletes, it's not a born trait, it's learned, it's developed. You have your ups and downs. There's many life lessons that come from this. Helping to develop that student athlete to become that leader is something that helps strengthen and bond the rest of your team, no matter if it's football, soccer, volleyball, basketball, any sport. Developing that leader in the program to help bond, mold the rest of the team will help in that success of developing the team aspect in achieving your goals. Our student athletes are under enormous pressure from all different angles, from be it inside the classroom, at practice, at games, at home, outside of school, whatever. And it's not an easy process to teach them how to handle the pressure. A lot of it comes from just having that sit-down conversation with students after a practice, after a game, after something tough happened, where there was pressure and they didn't know how to handle it. Maybe something happened that they didn't like. So we have those sit-down conversations with the students and ask them how they handled it. What could you have done different? This isn't going to be the first time this happens. So when it happens again and you give them a scenario, in that scenario, you let them know this is how you would handle this situation or this pressure. Tell them take a deep breath. It's not the end. It's not the end all of things. There's going to be many more times pressure is going to be in your face and you're going to have to respond. And it's not like it's let me think about type of pressure. In game situation, you're going to have all sorts of pressure in your face. If you're a quarterback, having no protection, people coming after him. Is he going to throw the ball? Is he going to run the ball? Is he going to take the sack? What's he going to do? He has to know how to make that decision at a moment's notice and get up and get back for the next play. And can he do that successfully, or is he going to fail? Early on, it's not going to be easy. It's going to be rough. They're going to get down on themselves, but we teach that through progress, through process over time, and they will understand on, it's the next rep, it's the next play. Don't dwell on the past. Think about what the next thing is. So a big thing today that coaches talk about is culture. And it can sound very vague. Like sometimes it's something that you may see on a poster or mentioned in meetings, but culture isn't what you say, it's what you allow. Culture is how your team warms up when no one else is watching. What are they doing when nobody's watching them? How players respond when they're being corrected by a coach, when they've done something that may not have been what they were taught to do or coached to do. It's how they treat their teammates when they're not starters. You get a lot of scenarios where you have other teammates, backups, third string guys that may not ever get in a game. Well, how are those starters treating those players, those teammates? Because we try to teach them that the team is a family, and how would you treat your family is just like how you would treat your teammates. It's also, how are they going to handle a tough loss? Are they going to just sling their heads down and walk around moping and pointing fingers? Or are they going to rise to that occasion of, okay, we lost this one, but this is what we know we need to improve on for the next week's game? And also, how do they handle an easy win? How are they going to respond to post-game, shaking hands with players after they just won a blowout game? That's culture. Results will fluctuate. Talent changes, schedules vary, injuries happen. This is something that is a constant, always changing. We have realignment every 2 years. Don't know what district we're going to go into. Don't know the schedule, who we're going to play. Injuries, you never know. I had a situation, player 2 years ago got injured, key player. Week 3, he was out, he was done. Wasn't sure how he's going to come back. He came back better than ever and had an amazing senior year. Another thing with culture, athletes will remember how the program made them feel long after they forget about the scores and the stats and everything else. They remember whether they felt supported, challenged, and valued. My big thing is always challenging the players and making sure they know that they're supported. Because without the challenge and the supporting of the players, they won't go out there and do what they need to do to take care of business. If those players know that they're supported, they're valued, they're challenged, they will run through a brick wall for you. And that's just, I've seen that everywhere I've gone. Those players, they know that I will do absolutely everything I can for them as long as I get everything I can out of them. What you tolerate becomes the standard in the program. Every program has standards, but not every program enforces them. If you tolerate poor body language, it becomes normal. If you tolerate being late, it becomes acceptable. If you tolerate disrespect, even quietly, it spreads. Culture isn't built by the standards you announce. It's built by the behaviors you correct or don't correct. The hardest part is that this requires consistency, especially when it's uncomfortable. Consistency matters more than intensity. Early in my career, I thought culture was built through big moments, speeches, meetings, emotional conversations, and speeches are probably one of the hardest things to do in front of, the players, the coaches, before a game. Halftime, it's pretty easy, but before all that, same expectations, same tone, same follow through, whether you're winning or losing. That's consistency. Athletes don't need us to be intense all the time. They need us to be reliable. Athletes believe in actions and not words. You can talk about accountability, But if the athletes see exceptions, the message is gone. Athletes see everything, everything. They watch how you handle mistakes. They watch how you treat officials. They watch how you talk about other teams and coaches. Culture is caught more than it's taught. So how do you actually work on culture without adding more to your plate? It's a great question. Let me tell you. Identify one behavior. Pick one behavior that matters most to you. Effort, communication, punctuality, whatever. Make sure you address it immediately. Don't wait. Culture corrections lose power when they're delayed. Reinforce it publicly. When you see it's done right, acknowledge it. Culture grows when it's recognized, and your athletes are going to flourish and absorb that acknowledgement. Kids today, that's what they want. They seek to be acknowledged. You don't need a new system. You just need clarity and consistency. Every coach wants to win. There's nothing wrong with that. But the best programs understand that winning is often a byproduct, not the foundation. If you focus on leadership, culture, and development, the results will take care of themselves more than not. This channel is about the things that truly shape programs, things that don't always show up on the scoreboard, but always show up in the people. This is Beyond the Scoreboard with Coach Jonathan Hirsch. Thanks for listening.